the children.
The days of our lives just hurry, hurry on past. The children, the babies are often gone so fast. Oh, we must work. It's up to us to work diligently to raise our children in the way of eternity. We must teach the children work, study, and pray. We must teach the children the sacred African way. We must teach the children truth, justice, and love. This is to know ourselves, to know and love. Teach our children to work, study, and pray every day. Teach the babies, our children. Teach our
We will raise our children according to the needs of our nation, with discipline, with patience,
Yes,
with devotion,
yes.
with courage. We will strive to be the living models
Yes.
for the new direction of our people. We are an African people. We are the children of God.
Teach the children.
To work, to study, and
Sacred African way. We must
teach the children
truth, justice, and love.
teach them to know ourselves, to know our love. Teach our children to work, study, and pray every day. Teach the babies, our children. Teach.
Atapose,
She.
I'm Kajasanap. I've recently come to understand that there's I don't know what I want to call it, an effort to do damage to the word Hotep, however we choose to say it. And I choose to say it loud and proud, to say I'm not listening to that madness, to say I'm not a part of that. I am a part of what was, I'm a part of what is, I'm a part of with Wose can be again, Hotep, Wose. I want to welcome everyone to today's celebration. I'm a little bit disheveled this morning. There's a lot going on within our community, but I'm going to get myself together here. This is now our Ileoma Day Founders Month that we're celebrating through April. And through that video that you saw, you got to see some of that great work of our founders and song and happiness and joy. And we hope to get back to having a full choir one day. We hope to get back to having a full audience one day. And I'm going to add soon onto that one day. I know even soon is a relative term, but I'm going to go ahead and say soon. We want some more of that. And as you all know, I'll take 2 scoops. But again, for those of you who are here with us, welcome, welcome, welcome everyone new. Welcome all the Jose members today, all of our associate members and those who are soon to be to our Sunday celebration. And with that, I'm going to bring forward beautiful sisters. Hi there. Sister Jalea and Mama Fania, please come forward.
Okay. We would know God's truth to be free and self-determined.
Creator, help us to remember the humanity, glory, and suffering of our ancestors, and to honor the struggles of our elders.
Let us strive to bring new vision and new life to our people. Let there be peace and harmony among us.
Let us be loving, sharing, and creative. Let us work, study, and listen so we may learn, teach, and cultivate self-reliance.
Grant us power, O Holy One, as we struggle to resurrect our heart and our homeland.
We will raise our children according to the needs of our nation with discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will strive to be the living models of the new direction of our people.
We are an African people.
We are children of God. Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you.
Asheo. Baba Jeff, please bring us some song, some music, lift us.
This is a soul fire production. Soul fire reggae.
Something beautiful's gonna happen to me. I feel it. Something grand is coming my way. I can see it. My life. That's how I know. Oh, something beautiful's gonna happen to me. I can feel it.
Ashe, oh, Ashe. You know, God is an amazing God. God is amazing. God is amazing. If you ever think you get off track, as we say in our song, sometimes listen more often to things, you know. I said, Brother Jeff, lift us up, and what did he do? I looked across the screen and I just see everybody just taking in some of that, something good is going to happen to you. Something good is going to happen to me. And if we are holding hands, if we are in unison, if we are of one mind, one love, one body, one heart, one soul, then that means something good is going to happen to us. Mose, Ashe. Woo, Ashe. God is good. God is good. All right. I see you. I see you there, Sugar D. Sugar D is going to come forward and bring us our historical tribute. We aim to keep 7 to 10 generations of information, documentation, as Baba Menu would say, facts beat conversation, and just something to make you think, something make you go do some more research, something you may or may not know. And I'm looking forward. I got my pen, I got my paper. Bring it forward, our historical tribute, Sugar D. Thank you. Come forward.
Asante, thank you, thank you. Something good has already happened to me. That was great. I love that song. That is fantastic. Grand Rising, we'll say family. It is an honor to present the historical tribute today. It's going to be a little bit different than we have had before. Y'all know I always spin things up differently. But before I do, I'd like to have permission for the elders to speak.
Please go right ahead.
I'm gonna
Let
share
us
my
hear
screen.
that tribute.
We listening.
I know you're listening. I'm coming. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna do this to you though. And I'm gonna share my screen. Tell me when you see it. I can't see it.
I see it.
I can't.
Essential apps.
Huh?
Shows your desktop
It's a
and
Zoom
essential
screen.
apps.
It's not
Oh,
your
it's
PowerPoint yet.
say what now? Oh, it's not on my.
It's not your PowerPoint yet. So
Okay, let me unshare. Let me stop sharing. Let me try it again.
Just shift over to your PowerPoint first.
Oh, there it is. Let's say share. Ah, can you see it?
From
Yes.
whence I came.
Once I
There
came.
it is.
Yes, yes.
We gotta go. Like I said, it's gonna be quite different. Today, I would like to make a tribute. Let's see, do I have it? Oh, wait a minute, let me put it on my thing. Yeah, okay. Today, I would like to make a tribute to my ancestors. These are the ancestors that had a big part of who I am today. Paul, my father, Nancy, my grandmother, Sharman, my brother, Sarah, my mother, and Charles, my husband. Because of this union, I was created. From this to this, and this, and this, and this. I am a humanitarian, investigator, scientist, businesswoman, poet, researcher, grandmother, entrepreneur, writer, mother, sister, woman, lady, and queen. These are my ancestors. This is my daddy, Paul Flanders. He was a veteran, the second oldest child of 4 children, and the second Black owner of a gas station in the neighborhood called Flanders and Son. My daddy later became a policeman for the city of Melbourne, Florida, and was assigned to patrol the neighborhood in which he lived. He had he had a beautiful baritone voice and was part of a singing group. He was always well dressed, and he even had a closet built onto our house just to house his clothes. My dad was known by all in the hood and was well respected. To this day, his picture hangs on the walls at the Melbourne Police Department. I remember fighting a girl at the corner store and my father being extremely angry with me. He said to me, "You are a lady and ladies don't fight in the street." I was on punishment for 2 months. He showed me how to be an entrepreneur, a humanitarian, clean, cook, and most importantly, be a lady. Born in 1931, my dad became my ancestor in November 1980. He died from a heart attack. These are my ancestors. This is my maternal grandmother, Nancy Casey Tentman, also known as Ma Dear. She was a lady full of wisdom and had a heart of love. She taught me humility and unconditional love. My granddaddy had a chick on the side and a whole other family, 3 boys. My grandmother would take care of those children when their mother was unable to do so. And according to my mother, she and her siblings would babysit them often. My grandmother even tied his tie and insisted that he attend his known mistress' funeral. Ma Dear was full of life and truth. My Ma Dear also taught me how to speak up for myself and have self-confidence. Born in 1907, Ma Dear became my ancestor December 1980, 1 week after my daddy became an ancestor. She died from cancer. These are my ancestors. This is my brother Sharman, Eugene Flanders. His name was derived from the first letter of my mother's, sister's, brother's, mom, and dad's names. He was smart and had an ear for music. He was the quarterback in high school and took them all the way to the state. He had later joined the military. He taught me how to be the best big sister ever, and he prepared me for motherhood. One day he took my mother's car for a joyride while she was asleep, of course, and wrecked the car around the corner from the house. My brother Sharman was born January 1969 and became my ancestor January 1989. My brother Sharman committed suicide. These are my ancestors. This is my mama, Sarah Tentman Flanders. My mama was tenacious, straightforward, outspoken, a businesswoman, a cosmetologist, and a registered nurse. She was part owner of a beauty salon for more than 40 years. Each time I would ask my mama how to spell a word, she would say, "Go look it up in the dictionary." And my response would be, "How can I look it up if I don't know how to spell it?" Of course, I said that to myself. I learned determination, perseverance, and researching from her. She also taught me self-confidence because she told me, as long as you have it up there, and she would point to her head, they can't take it from you. Born May 1932 and became my ancestor May 2003. She died from cancer. This is my ancestor, my husband, Charles Edward Robinson. He was the love of my life, and he kept me and my heart laughing daily. He was a bassist and loved music. He survived cancer twice and fought it with a positive attitude. He believed that having a positive attitude was half the battle. He also loved numbers, and one of the most important things he left me was copious spreadsheets. These spreadsheets have everything mapped out past retirement. I learned finance, romance, patience, and most importantly, I found out what it feels like to be loved unconditionally. I was indeed his queen, and he was most definitely my king. Born March 1955, he became an ancestor September 2021. He died from COVID-19. These are my ancestors: Paul, Nancy, Sarah, Charmin, Sarah. In the book of Ani, in the Husay, it says, pour libation for your father and mother who rest in the valley of the dead. God will witness your actions and accept it. Do not forget to do this, even when you're away from home. But as you do for your parents, your children will do for you also. Give me one moment. I would like to pour libation for my ancestors. My father, Paul, Ashe. My mother, Sarah, Ashe. My grandmother, Nancy,
Ashe.
Ashe. And my brother, Charmin, Ashe. And my husband, Charles, Ashe. 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 Thank you so much. And I apologize for crying.
Don't apologize.
Don't apologize.
Ashe.
Let the tears of love
Hey,
flow.
wonderful.
Ashe,
Ashe.
Wonderful.
Ashe,
Tears come with a smile.
Ashe.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much for sharing yourself, and thank you for sharing
Absolutely
your
amazing.
wonderful family with us as well. Not that it's not important, because it definitely is to remember historically people, places, and call those spirits or call those people in historical tributes. But those people who were closest to us, those people who were a part of our lives, those people who we saw on a daily, monthly, family event occasion, we definitely need to make sure that they're in that list, and very likely on the top of that list, Ashe. So no, we welcome it, and we thank you. And I know, because as you know, I helped you go through the phase of coming into Wose, that as soon as you said your husband, and I said, not she, but I said, we ain't gonna make it through this part. So I fully understand, and I love you, baby. I love you so much. Thank you for sharing that with us. Next, Baba Jeff, I'm gonna see you did it once. Let's see if you can do it again. Please lift us with song, Baba Jeff.
To
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Ashe. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
I would love that we did that as a community, just straight up. I love that. Hatep Baba Ustadi and Mama Thandiwe Hatep, please come forward with the litany of sacrifice.
Greetings, family. This is
Greetings.
the time that we do the litany of sacrifice, as we'll say. As you see that he had put, once the screen get right, we'll say will be right. Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we pay the Holy One for the gift that has been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call upon the gods of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We praise your name, O Amen Ra.
It is good.
Umoja, unity. We should strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Kuji Chakalia, community, self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our community together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and development of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Kaumba, creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it.
Imani, 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 faith. We will believe with all our hearts in our gods, our people, and in the righteous
Right.
and victory of our struggle.
I say.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Both. Yes, go ahead.
As you see, we have two aspects of way you can give your money or where to mail it to. You can do snail mail, which for Oakland would be 8924 Holly Street, or you could do the other way, go to WW Community Church. For Sacramento, you could go to the post office, that's Post Office Box 5271, or Sacramento, California, or go to wosesac.com. There will be a slight prayer by Sister Thundy Way.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Grand Rising family. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for this day. Thank you for the gifts that you have given us. We thank you for all that was able to contribute today. We thank you for all that has the desire to contribute, but not the funds at this moment. We ask that everyone consider blessing Wose in every way that they can. May not be monetary, but it could be the time or the skills or visiting the school. Bless Wose family in every way that you can. But we thank you for opening up the hearts of each and every one of us and planting the seeds of love to carry on the truth that Wose speaks. In your name, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Oh, thank you.
Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you both so much. Thank you. Next, we are going to welcome one of our ministers, Minister Bill or William Johnson, just depending on how you know him or who you know him through. But he is Minister Bill to me, or Minister Professor to me, or Minister Engineer to me, but one man. And he is going to bring us the message. And I just want to say that message is going to be followed by an invitation with Minister Alicia. So we are going to bring forward Minister Bill. Get your pens ready, get your tape recorders ready. Open the part of your mind that you may not have worked in a while, because you are about to have your synapses going. I'm ready. Let's go. Minister Bill, bring us the word.
Thank you. Thank you. Sister Minister, thank you so much. Grand Rising Wose. Welcome, welcome to the community of the Sacred African Way. This morning, I want to look back and say a few words about our sacred principle, Nia, our purpose, which is to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community to restore our people to our traditional greatness. Now, we know those phrasings in the Nguzo Saba are like poetry. They are tightly packed and overlaid with meanings. Our scholars intentionally phrase important concepts in broad terms so they can be applied across many generations, across many local circumstances, across many local methods and many styles. So today we're going to take a few minutes and unpack that phrasing, be clear on how the principle of Nia applies in our time, in our circumstances, to be clear on how to apply the principle in choosing our best actions and refining our actions toward greatness. Like the strands in a mkeka, like the refrain in a song, the phrase collective vocation reinforces the principle of ujima, collective work and responsibility. The principle Nia phrases our collective work as our collective vocation, because our purpose is not just one task for one day. It's not just one project for a season, not just one job till we find a better one. Nia is our purpose, which is both individual and collective, a purpose and vocation we engage throughout this life, a purpose and a contribution to eternal life. As a lifelong pursuit, purpose must be carefully integrated with the rest of our lives. Some of the folk you see here today are also working in our school, Ile-Omade. Some spouses are working in the school. Some prepare meals, some sing, Some play drums and keyboards and guitars. And our master videographer, Baba Jeff, well, you see him every Sunday, working, playing music, playing videos, bringing that spirit forward. We need to collaborate with many, many people to build and develop our community, to develop our community with us, to collaborate with us and pursue greatness together. As we read in 2000 Seasons, how inadequate the seeing that remains broken off, unconnected to any larger perception. How lacking in sufficiency, the hearing unconnected to a greater knowledge. Pieces cut off from their whole are nothing but dead fragments. That is our vocation, to find our larger healing self, we, the Black people. These are the words that we take in our hearts from Professor Armour. Our vocation is inherently collective because every form of greatness is built from collective work. Listen, I can't proofread my own writing. I can't even trim my own hair. I can't take a simple splinter out of my back. We need each other, even for simple things. All real progress requires collaboration and teamwork. To collaborate, we must overcome two types of separation. First, we must overcome physical separation and the scattering of our spirit. Those nearest to us may not share our culture, may not share our spirit of collective greatness. Our best partners in that pursuit are often scattered far and wide. Although some might like to call our movement a great migration, we in Wose understand that that was also an ethnic purge. These things are not always our choice, so we must look wide for our community in spirit, for those who share our commitment to Ma'at. We must bridge those gaps and discover who shares our purpose and connect with them, whether they're across the street or across the globe. At every opportunity, we must invite potential community to gather with us to join in our sacred work of building and developing ourselves. We understand that's a huge challenge, since throughout our time here, opponents have scattered us and alienated us from ourselves. We must continue to surmount those hurdles and connect with our brothers and sisters in spirit wherever they are. Beyond that, we face challenges of specialized interests. We may encounter great numbers of people, but our specialized professional and personal interests may poorly align, may offer little common experience, and may form a poor basis for camaraderie and community building. Over time, the diversity of specialized interests have exploded. There are new subjects and topics and entertainments that people get into now that didn't exist 20, 30, 50 years ago. But over time, we need to make those things subordinate. We need to focus on our commonalities. Even though it's less likely we will encounter randomly people who share common experiences. Even so, we can leverage our umoja, our unity in family, community, nation, and race. And clearly, we still have many challenges in common around issues of race. It is still in our interest to share, collaborate, and strategize in surmounting those anti-African subversions so we can live our fullest lives. While many strategies of our parents and grandparents worked well and yielded wins for our people, we should be clear about the fact that those strategies have always been in flux. They have always been dynamically adapted to the context of the times. And the same is true today. Some of those strategies will continue to work. Many of those strategies will need revision. Some will have to be adapted to new structures. Some will have to be adapted to new technologies. Our success depends on our timely adjustments to ensure we are always using the most effective strategies for the success of our families, for the success of our community. That means a constant exchange with the various members of our community to be sure that all of our insights are effectively shared for the success of all our people. But that's always been our practice here at WOSE. It's understood from the start that we must collaborate with each other to find our best strategies and prepare our families to surmount our challenges. From the outset, it was clear we could not continue to blindly accept the indoctrination of our opponents, that we must take into our own hands the education of our children. Even today, that job of education remains among our highest priorities. We're absolutely thrilled by the successes of Ile Omide in preparing our children for the challenges ahead. The success of Ile Omide students is clearly one of our proudest achievements. Still, we who believe in freedom cannot rest. We understand that as we continue the process of creation, there are always improvements to be made. Reflecting on our early years at WOSE, it's clear that we sought not only to help our children learn, but also to help each other learn as adults. In the early 80s, we offered learning tailored to African minds in ways that were simply unavailable to most of our people. Yes, universities were beginning to offer Black studies and later Africana studies, but that was only a beginning. And in university context, African learning was only available bundled as white universities grudgingly conceded. In universities, the African learning that we needed was locked behind their admission criteria, their fees, their degree structures, their rules and protocols, their requirements. By contrast, WOSE's independent learning was structured for maximum value to our communities at minimum cost. In 2023, we again face a surge of white backlash in education. I'm going to play you a little clip. Hang on.
As we mark the start of Black History Month, the College Board is introducing a first-of-its-kind course on African American studies. It's a first for many reasons, in part because high school students for the first time will combine history along with art and culture in this course. It's also become controversial. Florida's Education Department, under Governor Ron DeSantis, has already announced the course will not be allowed in Florida high schools, at least based on the pilot, even though the actual has not been released. The framework for the class has not been available until now. First on CBS Mornings, College Board CEO David Coleman and AP African American Studies Director and Program Manager Brandy Waters join us to unveil what's actually in this course that's got everybody talking. So Brandy, I want to go to you first as the creator of this course. What's in it? What can students expect?
This course is so exciting. It's an amazing course. It's one where students have the opportunity to delve into the depths of African American experiences. They see the diversity of these communities and the broader connections between the U.S. and the African diaspora. It's a course that allows students, as you mentioned, to explore resources in the arts and the sciences and politics and really come away understanding their current situation much more deeply.
How much did it change from the pilot to what's being revealed today?
So we were constantly iterating. We put out a number of different sources for the first pilot and immediately started talking with students and teachers where the course was living and just asked them which sources are interesting, which sources are engaging, which sources make your creativity come alive, and started tweaking from there.
David, what did you think about the controversy, especially in Florida, where people were criticizing the course who really hadn't seen it and didn't know anything about it?
You know, we at the College Board don't really look to the statements of politicians, but we do look to the record of history. So when we revised the course, there were only two things we went to. We went to what Brandy described, which is feedback from teachers and students, as well as 300 professors who have been involved in building the course. And we went back to principals that have guided AP for a long time and served us well. And what you'll find when you read it, as I hope you will, is you'll find an unflinching encounter with the facts and evidence of African American history and culture that gives young people the chance to think for themselves.
And isn't African American history as well? I think people sometimes make the distinction, don't you?
I couldn't agree with you more. You know, we all know today's the first day of Black History Month.
Yes.
And I know you know that the great Black educator, Carter Woodson, is the one who inspired Black History Month. And he said in 1922, just about 100 years before today, he said, soon we'll be able to tell our story, and only then can we be recognized as people.
But this raises the question, and Brandy, maybe you speak to this. If, you know, of course, African American history is American history, why the separate course? Why the need for it?
Well, what's really exciting about this course is that it's not an African American history course, it's an African American studies course. So we're giving students the opportunity to enter this professional discipline that normally they wouldn't access until college, but now they can get it in high school.
And all students.
All students.
All students.
Brandy, the phrase critical race theory has become so politically charged, and it's almost used to denigrate some in the lexicon. When you hear the phrase and the way it's misused, what do you tell people who say, oh, it's critical race theory, that's what do you say to them?
Well, I think as a scholar who's read many of these works, the first question I have to ask them is what they mean by critical race theory. I'm sure you've had this question before, too.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you just our point of view in the advanced placement program about theories like this. It's not about picking this theory or that. No AP course, whether it's our course in Japanese culture and language or Spanish culture and language, requires students to study a specified theory, trains them in an interpretation. Instead, it immerses them directly in the facts and evidence and lets them think for themselves.
The facts and evidence.
Instead, what they do is they have a research project at the end of the course where they get to pick something, and then they do compare what they're learning about to other interpretations. So the course,
Yeah, one of the criticisms was it significantly lacks educational value.
Again, based on the pilot.
Yeah, What do you both think when you hear that?
I got to tell you, working with Brandy over these past few years has been a glory to me. And I just want to give her a chance to describe the so many surprises. Everything is in this course. The Black inventors and artists who have just recently been seen. The Black and women and men and gay Americans who are pivotal in the civil rights movement. The people of faith from all backgrounds who contributed so much to the anti-slavery cause, and the role of faith in the Black community. This course hides from nothing, it sees everything. But Brandy, what do you think?
Sure, I think
in less than 30 seconds, Brandy.
That critique has been around for a while, but I know in my life, this field has changed the way that I think about my communities, how I relate to others, and students will have that same experience.
Can adults take the class? I'm thinking, this sounds good.
Probably buy the textbook.
Yeah.
Brandy, about $100 though.
Yeah, can adults take the class? I'm serious.
They should follow along with students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're hearing about families who are doing the readings at their dinner table. This is deep work.
Yes.
Hardwall, thank you.
Bravo, congrats.
We're better
Thank you
for
so much.
listening
Starting
to
today.
both.
Yeah.
Well, as you see, we're getting pushback again. By creating independent learning opportunities at WOSE, opportunities better tailored to our community, WOSE was able to deliver opportunities which outcompeted some of the most lauded universities in the country. Yes, it was at a smaller scale, but that was a scale suited to our community. And that is an important part of our purpose. We're faced with the question now of whether we're still performing at that high level. We're reminded by Dr. King that everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. We should ask ourselves, are we serving our communities as effectively as we can? There are some advantages to being small. We're not burdened by bureaucracy. We don't need a board of regents to approve our curriculum. So what will we do? What will we do with that potentially greater speed and flexibility? Will we apply it to serve our community? Given the right-wing surge in institutions controlled by our opponents, it seems certain our community faces similar learning gaps as before. How will we serve our communities in filling those gaps? In Florida, we have the country's head clown leading the charge against African education. He's leading the charge to, quote unquote, stop woke, leading the charge to derail college testing for Black studies. But you understand that he's just the clown with the bullhorn. That's not how things are done in California. In California, it's much more likely that budgets may be cut for Black and Africana studies. More likely that Africana studies get quietly merged into multicultural studies, watered down and dissipated of real value for the development of African people. Wose is not a large church. We're not a wealthy church. And yet we can distinguish ourselves in service to our community. How will we? We're not in the 80s, the 90s, or 2000s. We're in 2023. The abundance of new learning channels have emerged in just the last few decades. So how might Wose offer something that fits? How can we outperform in service to our community and deliver the traditional greatness we seek? Will we go beyond ourselves, beyond our walls, and carefully assess the adult learning needs of our community? That's a challenge. As a small church with a small budget, we need to be focused and careful to assure the services we invest in providing are services truly in demand. Given the feedback from the right, we understand there will be topics uncovered, topics not covered by the right. Are the services we offer well suited for our community? How will we focus our investments and structure so that they are sustainable? I recently spoke with one of our most senior members, and I mentioned complexities that I had hit in constructing a particular machine and warned him he might encounter the similar difficulties. What he said to me was, "Bill, don't even worry about that. I got neighbors right here who've dealt with that and worse many times." So I took a breath. And again, I was reminded, we faced challenges before. There's no need to shrink from them now. And it's his message I relay to you today. We don't need to do it all ourselves. We need to do our part well. Of course, engaging neighbors is one of the ways we build and develop our community. We already know what we need. We need to control our thoughts and control our actions. We need to plan carefully and perform diligently. And as always, we need to pull together. Harambe, Harambe, Harambe.
Thank you. Such a sound.
Harambe. Thank you so much, Minister Alicia. Thank you so much, Minister Bill. Thank you. Thank you for putting that on our minds and putting it on our hearts, putting it on our community. Thank you so much, Minister Alicia.
Ashe, give thanks for the bill. Give thanks for helping us to look at our communities and look at our places in our communities. And right now, if you are looking for a community and something has resonated with you within this Wose service, please raise your hand, shout out, "Hey, I'm here, I want to be a part." Type it in the chat, email somebody you know. Let us be here for you. If you have a skill or expertise you think that you could lend to the Wose community, if you want to be a part, if you want to build with us, please raise your hand. You know, go into the chat and say, "Hey, I would like to be a part," and somebody will respond with you and be able to give you information and share with you a little bit more about Wose. Let me scroll on as I'm talking and see if I can see anyone with their hands up or anyone who's trying to shout out, "I want to be a part." This is a wonderful community, and it's a community of the way. We are doing our best to ignite the powers that are within us through community work, through community and relationships and building with each other, loving each other, growing with each other. And this is the time that we are welcoming you to join us. And if you would like to do that, then we would love to get a chance to get to know you. So please put your name in the chat. Say, I would like to get to, to learn more about WOSE. And one of our commission members will give you the information that you need to be able to walk forward with WOSE. At this time, I don't see anybody's hand up. But Minister Bill, you really gave us some things to think about and some things to move on. I've written some notes, mostly the questions that you've asked, so that I can go back and ask myself these questions and mull over these questions. So we want to give thanks for that. Sister Rana?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Minister. Baba Jeff, we need our community song now to close out, to begin to close out today's celebration. Lift every voice and sing, please.
Now unto the ones who is able to lift us up faultlessly before the throne on high. May they empower us to be one people.
One people.
With one aim.
One aim.
One destiny.
One
destiny. One love.
One
love. One heart.
One heart.
And one God.
One God.
And let us call upon the name of that one God, as our elders and our ancestors have done countlessly and for time immemorial. Let us all say, Amen. You are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth.
I see.
Yay. Thank you, Minister Rana. Thank you all.
Thank you.